People, welcome to the League Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Shane Newman. On this episode, we have the pleasure of having another Major League vet, former outfielder for 4 different organizations at the Major League level, also coached at the Major League level, played in 1996 Olympics for Team USA, bronze medal winner. From the West Coast, the Bay Area. San Diego is the Bay Area, I'm sure.
No, that's
Southern Cal.
Yeah, the Bay's up north.
I'm sorry, I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah,
from Southern Cal, sunny San Diego.
Yeah.
Jacque Jones.
Thanks for having me, my brother.
For sure, man. I appreciate you hopping on, man. I don't want to screw that up, man. Last time I had somebody on the show, I told them I mentioned the wrong hometown, and they jumped on me for that. So, I didn't want to screw that up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna jump on you, but the Bay Area is up north. I'm down south.
For sure. I should know that, man, because I've been to all of those places, bro. But like I said, man, from San Diego, man, been all around the world, played the game for a very long time, did a lot of great things within the game, and we're gonna definitely share that story and how you got to the level of playing baseball that you ended up being at. But we're gonna start from the beginning, man. Out in San Diego, when did you get your first start playing the game of baseball?
Just probably 5. When I was 5, I started out in the little minor leagues, and I skipped over T-ball, so I never played T-ball, but started in the little, they called it the minor leagues, and then into major league and pony and colt and some travel ball. Then I played high school at San Diego High. And after San Diego High, I went to USC and spent 3 years there. So my 3rd year, I ended up playing in the Olympics in Atlanta. We were the last college team to play in the Olympics. So that was pretty cool. I spent 2 summers with Team USA. I spent 1 summer, my first year in college ball, I spent in Alaska in the summer league.
In that summer league, yeah.
Yeah, man. So that was fun. And then playing with those guys, and then playing, like I said, with Team USA for 2 summers, that was fun too. And then I ended up getting drafted by the Twins in the 2nd round and started my pro ball journey.
Yeah. We're going to definitely jump into that and just kind of some of those things along the way. But saying you started at 5, skipped over T-ball, obviously you was at advanced and athlete. Good hand-eye coordination, all of that. Did you play any other sports coming up, or was just baseball?
So I dabbled a little bit in basketball just to try it out, but it was mostly football and baseball.
Gotcha.
Yeah, football was my first love. I played quarterback and then safety and wide receiver. But that was my first love because you could just play angry and it's contact.
Yeah, let it all loose, man.
Yeah. So, but I knew that I was best in baseball, so I knew that's where I was going to end up playing.
No doubt. I figured basketball, you probably would have been a long ways with that, a little point guard or something, man. That would have been my guess of another sport.
My hand-eye skills in basketball wasn't too good, especially with dribbling the basketball.
Yeah, I got you.
It was kind of like like Bo Jackson said, baseball was his hobby. So basketball was kind of a hobby.
Got you, but you gave it up pretty early though.
Yeah. I think I played 2 seasons of they called it YBA, which was Youth Basketball Association, and then I played 1 year of junior varsity in high school, and then after that I was
shut it down.
Yeah, I shut it down.
Definitely, man. And I know earlier you spoke about playing in the minor leagues, major league, pony, coat league. A lot of people, that's foreign. I understand that language because I played those same levels coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
But none of that stuff. I mean, it's still around, but it's not as popular as it was back then. So
yeah, no, man. Everyone's into travel ball, so
yeah.
And then it's like 9A and double A and triple. Nah, man.
All of them levels.
Yeah, I can't follow all that stuff.
Spending all that cheese too.
Yeah, basically is what it is. It's just funding somebody's lifestyle.
Speaking on that, obviously, like we talked about the levels you went through.
Yeah.
Played multiple sports through high school.
Yeah.
And when did you start to see yourself peak as a baseball player? You knew that you could probably play the game at a high level.
That's when I first started playing. I was always better than my teammates, even at a young age. And so I always, I played, they wanted to put me on the All-Star team as a 9-year-old, but I couldn't play just because the rules were you had to be 11 at least.
Yeah.
And so I spent 2 years. Not being able to play on an All-Star team. And then finally, so I got to play at 11, of course. But then I started playing. Once I got out of major leagues here, it was 12 years old. And so 13, 14, I played pony. And then at 15, I started playing in the adult leagues on the weekends.
Yeah.
So at the age to start that was 18, but they slid me in.
Damn, at 12, 13 years old?
No, I was a 15-year-old.
Oh, 15, okay.
Yeah, as a 15-year-old. So I was always playing up above, my age bracket as far as stuff like that. So I was always advanced playing baseball.
Gotcha. That's what's up, man. You was able to sustain that. You didn't peak as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You was able to sustain that throughout, your mid to late 30s playing the game at a high level. So that's a credit to you and obviously your God-given talent. So you're moving through, man. You're playing with adults at that high school age.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you when scouts started coming around from colleges and pro ball, or was it something that?
So they didn't necessarily come around. I didn't get experience with that until area code games.
Gotcha.
But I had a couple seniors on the high school team that I was on. I was on as a freshman on varsity. And so they would come to see those guys. And then of course they saw me play because they were watching those guys, but they weren't just flocking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had 2 offers coming out of high school, which one was San Diego State and the other was USC. So I wanted to get away from home. I wanted to go far. I wanted to go to Texas, man, or something like that.
Yeah, I was wondering why you chose USC over San Diego State or whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to get away from home. So LA, I have family in LA, but that was it was either stay home or try to go somewhere else and play. So I chose to go somewhere else.
Gotcha, man. That's crazy though, man. And you hear stories about that all the time. Guys not getting recruited as much as you would think.
Yeah.
Looking back at their careers and it's how you miss a guy like that.
Yeah. So baseball is different than most of the other sports. Is you only get a certain number of scholarships and you get basically 12 scholarships, 11 and a half scholarships to divvy up between 25 guys. And so there's 11 and a half scholarships to divvy up between 25 guys. And so it's especially where I come from, man, my mom wouldn't be able to send me to school. That school costs $30,000 a semester.
For sure, man. We're in the same boat. So.
Yeah. So it's just just coming from where I came from, where I grew up at, that would have never happened for me. But they ended up paying, I got a full ride. So I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
But, football, you get 60 scholarships or 80 or something like that. And then basketball, everyone gets a full scholarship, and it just didn't happen that way in baseball, which hurts us, especially being an African-American community. It hurts us more than it hurts, anybody
Definitely.
else.
You gotta hope you get that full, and it's very rare that a kid will get a full ride. It might be a mixture of academics and athletics.
Yep.
You're gonna have to pay something at the end of the day. When you go. Same thing for me. I went to LSU, man, and we'll speak about those things too as we go. So I know how it is when it comes to that. But you get that, you hit the ground running at USC, carrying over from high school, strictly baseball now.
Yep.
was it somewhat of a rude awakening being around, you have been around grown men, but now you're looking at the best of the best, not only in Southern Cal, in the state of California, but you're getting guys from all over the U.S. coming to that program, because it was a big time, still is a big time program, but it was even bigger back when you came up.
Absolutely. So not really, because there was just a cocky person coming up.
Yeah.
And so like when I got there, and you're always like, every level you go up to, you like, man, can I do it here? Is it going to be the same? Can I still be competitive? So yeah, I went through that, first, couple weeks or so, but then I was like, 95 is still 95. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A curveball is still a curveball. Like it may be better, the quality is better, but like you're just like, they still got to throw it over the plate. And so like once I got past that, I was fine. I started as a freshman, so it was, I started kind of at the bottom of the lineup, and then I worked my way up to the middle. So it was just like, I knew I could hit. I didn't have much power back then.
Yeah.
It was coming, but I could hit. And that was, as long as you can hit, man, they'll find a place for you. And that's that old saying, as long as you can hit, they'll find a place for you.
Sure.
And so like, I just hit and I just kept hitting. And like, it was crazy because I was even going to transfer, and my, at the halfway point of my first semester, I was hitting like 350, but the coach was just riding me. Right. And he actually turned into a mentor and good friend of mine, Mike Gillespie, and he just passed, a little under a year ago. But he was just on me, man. And so I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
And so like we ended up having a conversation, and I ended up staying. It was the best thing that I could have done, because our relationship, one, got better, and two, was just like, dude, just grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's not gonna, coddle you. So I went through that.
So just not knowing any better, and to have a great coach like that, RP Mike Gillespie, having that type of guy who knew how to get the best out of the players,
right? No
matter which avenue. You probably couldn't do that these days with a lot of the stuff that's going on. But for sure. Yeah, but having that, man, and you just kind of moved through college, had a lot of success. You said you played with Team USA a couple of years. And I'm sure that was fun, getting to travel the world and see different places.
Dude, it was awesome. We ended up, it was a blessing because I was on the Olympic team, but I wanted to get out of the country, but the Olympics in Atlanta. So it was actually, I actually got an Olympic team because I did well against LSU and Skip Bertman.
Yeah, I already know. I remember that regional, man. I used to watch, I'm from Louisiana too. So I remember that regional y'all came down and showed up.
Yeah, so I got put on after that whole thing. So, I say my career, my life is just like, ordained by God, just the steps that I had to go through and the things that I had to persevere through. It was kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just put in front of people and I just performed, not knowing what the situation was.
Just oblivious, right? Just not even just.
Nope. And so that's just, that's just how, I ended up and how I got through college.
Sure, man. That's what it takes sometimes. And, and the more you don't know sometimes, the better off you are. But you played in front of Skip Bertman at his stadium in Baton Rouge. I remember watching that regional, being from Louisiana. Yep. I played for Skip at LSU for my 4 years.
Okay.
So, I had to deal with him for 4 years, man. How was it, in an Olympic setting, playing for a guy like that?
So we were told that he wasn't as intense with us as he was,
Probably not.
Yeah. And I was like, this guy is intense, but, and then talking to like Todd Walker and other guys that played, they're like Warren Morris and Jason Williams and those guys that played for him. They were like, dude, we don't know what's up with Skip. He's nice, he's back. But when you had a team of basically you had a team full of All-Americans, like, you kind of got to relax, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more about motivational stuff because he was big in motivating, but again, he'd get in your butt as well and kind of, let you know a few things. So, you get that experience, man. even though it was in the U.S. and ATL, the same year you got drafted, right? That same year you got drafted.
Yeah.
How easy of a decision was that to sign that contract?
It was very easy, man. I didn't have anything to do or prove in college, and plus, at that time, going back as a senior, like you was almost
getting no money.
So it was just time to move, time to go.
Sure, man. I'm with you on that, man. And the fact that things happen so fast for you, like you said, coming from the place you came from, not being able to, I guess, enjoy certain things that you might have seen some other kids get at a young age. Now you're in a position where you can set yourself up, your family up to have some success and create some generational wealth. So signing that contract with Minnesota, you at USC, top-notch program, just play for Team USA. You get the best of the best. You probably have more equipment than you needed. And then you step into a minor league situation.
Yeah, I was like taking a step down, dude, because playing at SE was like being in AA, playing against Stanford, Arizona State, Cal, Arizona. I'm leaving out one team, but anyway, it was like 6 of us in the pack, 6. And just playing against some of the guys I played against, and we flew everywhere. Yeah. So it was just like, we played in nice stadiums. And then to go to pro ball and playing A ball wasn't so bad because those were all the spring training facilities when I played in Fort Myers. Yeah. But, we rode a bus everywhere and long bus rides. And I'm just like, what the heck is this, dude? We flew it. Like taking a step back.
Yeah, that's the part that for me, I had to adjust to, just being on a bus. Yeah. You don't get that sweatsuit to wear on a plane or whatever else. The way you eat, all of that stuff changes. So it's a grind, and only the strong survive in that. But you kind of make it through pretty quick. You move through the system pretty quick. Yeah.
So I spent a year at every stop, with the exception of AAA Salt Lake. So I started in Fort Myers and I went to New Britain. Spent a year there. And that's when most guys were spending a year at every league, and they weren't being promoted until they dominated it. Yeah. And then I spent half a year at Salt Lake because a good friend of mine, Matt Lawton, he got hit in the eye. And so I got called up because he got hit in the eye, and I was really only supposed to be there for 15 days. And again, I just knew to go out and play. And after 15 days, they kept me, and it turned into like a 9.5 year career.
Yeah. So obviously you didn't know you was about to get called up.
No, I had no idea, because I actually was struggling in AAA because I was, I was in my feelings about not leaving with the team. That was the first time I really kind of got cut from a team. You know what I mean? So just seeing my boys leave, and I had to go to AAA and play, and just trying to get to the big leagues in like 2 days, and it turned into 3 months.
Yeah, that slump, it happens, man. I know the feeling, bro. You fall into that and think you got to do more than what you already are capable of. So take me through that phone call or whatever, or that meeting with the manager when you found out you was gonna go to the league.
Yeah, man, we were up playing. It's in Oklahoma City. We were up playing cards late at night, probably about 11:30, and he came through and was like, hey, y'all got curfews at 12, even though you guys are in the room, curfews at 12. And we're like, dude, we all here in the hotel playing cards, like chill. And me and the manager had a couple like disagreements, run-ins, during the season. So I was just like, come on, man. Like, we here, like, chill. So anyway, he ended up, we were watching TV and I saw what happened to my guy. So it was probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and he came back through. And then he peeked in and he looked around, and our eyes locked. And he's like, you, come here. And I was like, come on, man. Like,
you already knew what it was.
Yeah, we're in a room full of people, and I'm like, you picked me out of all these people in this room. Like, why you singling me out? So anyway, we got in the hallway, and he's like, hey, he said, you think I'm gonna punish you for being up past curfew, huh? And I'm like, yeah. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, out of all the guys in the room, you picked me out. And he's like,
Yeah.
nah. And he's like, congratulations. I was like, congratulations for what? He's like, you're going to the big leagues. And so that's when I found out that I was going.
He's about to take some money out your pocket.
Man,
Huh?
money out of my pocket, bro. I was like, what the heck?
Man, that's crazy. I mean, everybody can have their own story with that, but
Yeah.
the fact that you had rebelled supposedly against the coach a few times, and you know, he doubles back and calls you out, and you're thinking something else is going to happen. And then, like you said, the rest is history. 9.5, 10 years in the big leagues. Where was the team at the time? Were you prepared? Y'all were on the road, obviously. So how did that whole thing with having to gather things, call the fam, and do all of that stuff to make sure you're ready to get out there and play?
My roommates were really cool that I had in Salt Lake. And so they packed all my stuff up and took it to the field, which was just nothing but clothes at the time because, you know, we rent places out. But they were real good about packing up all my stuff, man, and sent it, and I got it. And the team was in Minnesota, so I flew straight to Minnesota, got off the plane. Game was at 7. I got there at 4, took a little batting practice and took some fly balls to try to get used to that roof.
Yeah.
And then played. I would end up going 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 or something like that. But I know I didn't get a hit my first game. We were playing Reds.
When did that hit come? When did that first big hit come?
It actually came in Milwaukee. And I can't even remember who the dude was that was pitching. But I know it was in front of my college teammate was Jeff Jenkins. And he was playing left field, and then so I had a line drive to left field, and it fell in front of him, and guys were giving him shit because they thought he let up to get me a hit, but you know, so it was just kind of ironic that my first hit was in front of him, which was my college teammate.
Yeah, that's what's up. Maybe he did. Maybe he pulled a Brett Favre, but who's to say? That's a knock in the book. Yeah, yes, and we're gonna live with that.
Exactly. I want to say it's like Jimmy Haynes or somebody, but
just know you got a knock. I don't care who it's against. First big league knock.
Yep.
And to get off the snide. So, man, you're moving along. You know, you're thinking 15 days, you might get sent back down. Yeah. That doesn't happen. Yeah. When did you realize that you might be there for a while?
I really didn't, man, because I just, especially after the 2 weeks, I'm just like, dude, any day they could just, you know, because at that time, it didn't necessarily matter what you were doing. It was more of what the team needed, or like nobody lost their job really. You know what I'm saying? So you could do well and be like, this guy's coming back. We'll see you in, you know, whenever. So, but just the more I was there and the more I was hitting, and, you know, we weren't very good. Anyway, I think we lost 100 games that year. So it wasn't, they were in the rebuilding stage. So I think that was part of the reason why I was able to stay. Yeah.
That makes it tough, but you were starting to have success at that level and you're back on the planes. You know what I'm saying? It's all private jets now, as far as like just the team being on the planes. So you don't have to worry about those buses no more. So, man, I know you played center field for most of that time. And then having a transition because another great came up. You know, was that a little difficult? Was that just something that just kind of happened and you were okay with it?
Yeah. I mean, dude, at the time, Tori and I were splitting time in center field. And we were both trying to get our feet under us, but we always knew, like, even in spring training, and we were so close. We're like, dude, like, they're trying to put us against each other. Like, it's not between us. That's not what it's about. We're trying to make each other better, push each other. But we told each other always that eventually it's going to be enough room for both of us, and we'll both play, or one of us is going to go somewhere else and play. But it's enough room for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Play. So that's never was any jealousy or hatred between he and I. It was always like, you push me, I push you, and you know what I'm saying? So, but as we both got established, like, I mean, he's one of the best center fielders in the game. So
hell yeah, for sure.
It's for me to be mad or fight the change, because like, you got to understand, sometimes you just got to know, like, that dude's better than I am playing defense.
And shit, if we got 2 center fielders, 3 center fielders in the outfield, ain't much dropping out there. So
and it worked. And like, it's, you know what I'm saying? So and that's what happened. He he went down that year. He came back towards the end, and even for him, that his career kind of took off after that.
Yeah. I mean, your career took off too. I mean, when you look at it in the grand scheme of it, and even if it was another team you had to go to, your value was probably that much better because you're able to play different outfield positions. For sure. And I can plug you in wherever.
Yeah, I was able to, and that's how I started at SC. I started as a left fielder, then I played right field, and I ended up playing center my last year. So I ended up playing all three of them.
You're used to it, and a left-handed bat is always good in somebody's lineup. So. You know, you spend that time, 5+ years in Minnesota.
Right.
And then we move on. We move on to Chicago. Was that via trade, free agent?
No, free agency. Went over there for a couple years and did okay over there. Wasn't really one of my favorite places to play, but I got a chance to play with a lot of great players. I know that.
Yeah. Two of my teammates, I think, were your teammates. Two of my college teammates, Mike Fontenot, Ryan Terrio.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
So I didn't get to face you, man, but I pitched in Pittsburgh those years that you were in Chicago.
Yep, I remember.
So that was fun, just being out there in Chicago and just the allure of playing against the Cubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But mentioning that pit stop wasn't obviously your greatest, but you were able to still stick around for another few more years. Yeah. And then from Chicago, where did we go next?
Went to Detroit, and kind of that's when it was kind of like the tail end, when I didn't really realize it, but it was the tail end. So I spent a little bit of time, literally months in Detroit, and then months in Florida playing with the Marlins, and then it was a wrap after that.
Torrey wasn't in Detroit yet when you got there?
Torrey went over to I think Anaheim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What's some of those favorite moments though in Minnesota? Because I know that was that time that you were able to kind of settle in and really put together some years.
Yeah, all of it. Just the climb that we were on, like from 2000 on. Because we were kind of riding the ship in 2000, and then 2001 we were in the lead, and then Chicago, the White Sox came back and took the lead from us, and then we ended up missing the playoffs. And then 02 to 05 we ended up going to the playoffs every year, which we didn't have like high salaried players. We just had really good players.
Yeah.
And these other teams had, like Carlos Lee and Magdalene Ordonez, Frank Thomas. The Indians had the Tomes and Kenny Lofton, Manny Ramirez, Ellisberg, Travis Fryman, Vizquel, you know what I'm saying? Alamo. We had no players like that, but we learned how to play and we learned how to win against those teams. And so it was just cool to start kicking their behinds,
Yeah, that's what makes it sweeter, man. Definitely makes it sweeter when we can put together something like that with a minimum amount of money. Guys playing for that career, for that contract, and they're going out there and putting it on the line every single night. So having those years and just kind of enjoying that time, playing in the dome, it plays fast. You could run, you had some power, so you were able to mix that in.
Oh, yeah.
And then moving to another place in Chicago where the ball jumps. Yeah. And then from there going to Detroit, and you start to see that career, come to an end, not because of injuries, but, for whatever reasons, opportunities wasn't there.
Right.
Were you okay with that at the time, or was it a situation where you felt you still had a lot to give to the game?
I still had a lot, dude. I was never hurt. I was always healthy. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those things where I just, needed to make some adjustments, and I wasn't allowed to make those adjustments. Yeah. I just got to the point where I was like, dude, I'm not begging anybody to play. So I was just like, I'll go home.
For sure. I mean, I ran into you. I was in indie ball. I ran into you in Newark.
Yeah, Newark.
Charlton Jimerson, I think, was on that. Y'all had a squad. Y'all could have probably played 500 ball at the big league level with that squad you had.
Carl Everett.
You know what I mean?
We had Tyke Redmond and we had all kinds of cats on that team.
Yeah, I remember Keith Falk was playing over there. He was pitching over there. Yeah, that was crazy, man. So moving on from that, knowing that you still had a lot to give to the game, but wasn't allowed from a player standpoint.
Right.
Took that time off, between time when you got into coaching. Did you immediately get into to coaching or doing stuff with organizations, or you took time off?
I took some time off, a couple years, and then I went to scout school just to have it under my belt.
Yeah.
And then after scout school, I got picked up by the Padres as a coach. And so I did that for about 3 years in the minor leagues as a hitting coach. So then after that, I took a year off, and then Dusty called me to come be on his coaching staff in Washington.
Yeah. Dusty takes care of his guys, man. Anybody that he likes, bro, he gonna definitely look out for.
Always, man. Always.
That's what I hear all the time. So how was it, moving on from a player to kind of being able to give game to some of these young cats?
It was easy. It was to me, it was easier to be a coach than it was to be a player, of course, just because I didn't have to stand in the box anymore.
Yeah, and face different shit, right?
Yeah, but the knowledge that I took with me and the experience and things I picked up from other people, I was able to give to these guys and have them try to apply it, or just give them something else to think about. And it was, I'm just here, man. I don't. I always used to say, I don't know nothing, man. I'm just here.
It's a lot of knowledge up there, man. A lot of experience, especially the journey you took.
Yeah, but with these guys, man, they don't, unless you played with them or they saw you play, like they don't know.
Yeah.
Man. So I just used to, like, I don't know nothing, man. I could just tell you what I see. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
it.
Then when a relationship started to form, then that's when but these guys, you can't like impose your will on them as coaches or people in authority, because like they're not trying to hear it.
Indeed. I definitely can get that. I work with a few high school kids, and you can kind of see that too. A couple college guys as well. So, being that you're not in a professional realm no more when it comes to organizations, are you still sharing some of that knowledge with the youth these days, or what are you up to now?
Yeah, so I started a foundation. I haven't really gotten to the baseball part of it, and I actually haven't really gotten to much of it other than just doing fundraisers and community stuff for the community that I grew up in. It's called All Hands on Deck, and I want to, just take some kids from the neighborhood and show them, different things, and teach them different life skills, and talk to them about mental health. Which is going to be huge, because like just coming where we came from, man, we were taught as young African-American males, we can't be weak or show signs of weakness or show signs of, needing help or being hurt. So I want to do that. And, financial literacy, man, I want to,
that's huge right there.
Education, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause you're going to need that. It's the first thing I ask for on a job interview, and to me, it really doesn't mean anything, but like learn a trade or go to school, get further educated, man. Cause just having a piece of paper, it'll take you places that it wouldn't take you if you didn't have it.
Sure, man. Not putting all those eggs in one basket. And
right.
You mentioned the mental health side, and I'll rewind a little bit. Did you throughout your career, did you fall into any of that at the big league level? Feeling depressed or having that anxiety of
course,
wanting
man.
to.
Yeah, of course. Like you struggle and like really nobody can help you.
No.
Because they could talk to you, but ain't nobody getting in the box hitting for you. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. And if you struggle too much, somebody's going to replace you. You know what I'm saying? So just dealing with that and knowing that, hey, it's, at the end of the day, it's a game. And if you do well, it's a game that can change a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? For you, your family, your family's family. But just knowing it's not the end of the world, man. And knowing that you have someone in your corner that sometimes you just need somebody to talk to get the crap off of your chest. And then you feel better and go out and perform. But if you don't have that, because they're basically just writing you a check when you go out and perform.
That's it. And the business side could drive you to that too, of having that anxiety, that depression, because they make decisions. Obviously, you got sent down to the minors when you thought you should have broke camp.
Right.
that led to a slow start and the struggle for 3 months. You know, I can relate to that too myself, my man. I didn't spend 9 years in the big leagues, but I had a little taste. You know what I'm saying? But that same type of situation I dealt with as well.
Yeah.
And I think in the sport of baseball, you hear the NBA, you hear NFL talking about depression and mental health.
Yeah.
And maybe they're doing it now, but you don't hear so much about it in the game of baseball. I believe we need to shed some light on that.
I think they're I know when I was in Washington, they had a guy. But again, as a young player making a lot of money, right? You don't really take advantage of that part because you feel like, I mean, I'm rich basically, and I'm gonna play, and you can't, like, this stuff is crazy that you're telling me, and it just takes guys that wanting to buy into it. And again, you got to come from an angle of, man, you have to befriend these guys before they're going to listen to you.
Of course.
You come in and, hey, close your eyes, and like, you got to, hey, how's everything at home? How's the kids? You got to know these people by names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if they never played the game of baseball, if it was not an athlete at all, you're definitely not about to listen to that. No. So it takes relationship. On the other side, it takes relationship building, man, for guys to fully buy into whatever it is that you want from them or ask of them. Because if they don't trust you, then you talking to a brick wall. Believe me, I definitely can pick up what you're putting down, man. And before we jump into the last segment of the podcast, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
And it's simple. What was your why? If you can share that.
Why I played baseball?
Yes.
Yeah. It was I knew that I was good in it. I loved it. I loved the competition. I loved the camaraderie. You know, and I knew that I could make a difference with me and my family and just people watching me because I had so much joy playing the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My why was competing and being better than the other person that I was competing against and showing that I was better. So, you know, those were my whys. And then my kids getting to see me play and my mom getting to see me, like family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those were my whys.
That's what's up, man. A couple kids asked me that, and I asked them that. So, you know, that might be a part of the podcast moving forward where, you know, I get that from each and every player that I interview.
For sure.
It's their why. They help educate the youth and understand that we just wasn't out there doing it with no cause or no reason behind it. So,
right. And it's not about the money either, although that's, you know, it's like we've been saying, it's a thing that it's a life changer.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, I want to do it. You know, I'm not gonna say I would have played for free. That's
nah.
I played to compete and beat on the person, you know, that was in front of me on the other side.
The cheese was just that extra, that cherry on top when it came to it all. So
Yep.
You play for the check. You might not see that check for a very long period of time.
No.
So, but man, speaking on all hands on deck, you know, you have a website yet? Anything you're about to kick off?
Yes, it's All Hands on Deck 11. There's an Instagram page, All Hands on Deck as well. So yeah, those two things you can read up on it and check it out. And it's just, my mission is basically giving the kids of Southeast San Diego a chance that they normally wouldn't get coming from where they come from. Not
the Bay Area.
No, not the Bay Area. You can't say that down here, dude.
For sure, man. And I definitely check it out. And for people that's listening in, I definitely want them to check it out because obviously we have so many people giving back that in the community, African Americans, athletes, former athletes that, you know, we don't shed enough light on it. And everybody think about us just playing the game and doing that. So, but
and it's not the spotlight isn't on it, especially in the media and publicly. It's if we do something bad, everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
You know, if we're doing something good, it's just like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. But, you know what I mean? But hey, we trying to give kids a chance to succeed and be successful that they just wouldn't normally get.
For sure. Opportunities that you didn't initially have coming up, now that you can afford to give back and do those things. That's what it's all about. Absolutely. And that's the point of making the money, so I can be able to share, not necessarily dollars, but share knowledge and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm with you on that, man. And look, again, I appreciate you for hopping on. But before I let you go, I got five quick questions I need you to answer for me before we shut it down.
Yeah.
Best answer that comes to mind. So I know you don't remember the pitcher you got your first hit off of, but was there a pitcher that you hated to face?
Oh, Mark Burley by far. Mark Burley and Kenny Rogers, man. They're like the guys who can mix it up really good, especially left-handed. I just had all kind of fits with them. I think I was like 0 for 19 between those two.
And one of them was in the division for a while.
Yeah. So I kind of got Burleyitis after a while.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. He pitched for a long time. It wasn't like you had a cup of coffee in the league. So
yeah, for sure.
What about somebody you love to face? Pitcher you love to face?
So two guys, Bartolo Colon was one of them. And
really?
Then a guy, he didn't pitch that long for the Orioles, but his name was Travis Driscoll. I was like 8 for 9 against that guy.
Yeah, get your money on that dude, right? Yeah. What about Bartolo, man? Was it just, he threw hard, but was it just that straight?
Yeah, so he threw hard. Everything was hard.
Yeah.
I just didn't mind it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it be like that, man. Yeah. It be like that. So I'm going to move on to the second one. We didn't speak too much on routine and things of that nature, but did you have any superstitions or certain things you had to do leading up to game time?
No, not leading up to game time. It's more like just not stepping on the line. Yeah. And I would never run through the infield dirt. I would always run around the back of the infield to the outfield. Yeah. And those are the only two things that I had that were superstitious. Gotcha.
That's what's up, man. What about your favorite city to play in?
So I loved playing at Safeco and in Cleveland when it was Jacobs Field.
Yeah.
Just those places always had a lot of energy, and it didn't hurt that they had really good teams with, Griffey and A-Rod and Randy Johnson and all those guys. And then, like I said, all those names I named earlier, with the Alomars and Kenny Lofton and Manny Ramirez, and Ellis Burks and Travis Friedman. And then they had Bartolo Colon, Jarrett Wright, and CC, and those guys came up. Yeah. It was just fun to compete.
You knew you was about to step your game up that series. So I'll definitely get that, man. I got two more for you, man. Some fun. Let's have fun with these questions. Yeah. This one here is going back to the young Jacque Jones, man. The young Jacque Jones, senior. Let me add senior behind that too. Yeah. But I don't want to get in trouble again, man, by messing up something with you, bro. So we going back to the youngster, the 5-year-old, the 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Your favorite concession stand food. Little league concession stand.
Nachos and snow cone. Yeah.
How you get your nachos dressed though?
Just extra cheese, bro. And the jalapenos was too hot for me at that point.
So you just cheese and chips, no chili, no jalapeno.
Well, yeah, chili if they had it.
For sure.
It was hit or miss with the chili.
No doubt. Yeah, it depends on how late you finish your game. If they had some chili though.
Yeah.
For sure, man. So last one. Favorite athlete of all time?
Probably Bo Jackson, even though he didn't get to play, he didn't have a long career, but he was just phenomenal in two sports, man.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, that's probably everybody's, but for me, Bo Jackson. Nobody was doing what he was doing, and if he would stay healthy, it would have been crazy.
Hall of Fame in two sports, probably, if you really think about it.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, man. Not a bad guy to definitely choose as that type of person, favorite athlete of all time, man. Again, man, I appreciate you for hopping on. Jacque Jones, senior from San Diego. Not the Bay Area, Southern Cal, sunny Southern Cal. I'm probably going to catch some flack for that because I got homeboys out that way too. But again, like I said, man, I appreciate you hopping on, sharing your story, taking some time out, bro. For sure, man. And we'll definitely be on the lookout for all hands on deck. I'm going to check out your IG.
Okay.
Check out All Hands on Deck 11.
Okay.
And support the cause, man. We got some guys doing some big things out there, bro. So keep doing your thing, bro. And much love to you and continued success, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Sure. Salute.
Okay. All right.